It has been a minute since we showed the race car Honda on YouTube. The last race in October was in Michigan, which I don't even think I made a video for. I probably should do that. But she's pretty broken. And I've been diagging this thing for like a week now. I think I got it figured out. This old girl went into a limp mode last year, and I was thinking it was something VTEC actuated, and then the battery light come on. This battery has been trash even when I dailied it years and years ago. It killed one alternator already. I put a new alternator on it thinking it would be just fine. Turns out it is not. Now, I have been thrashing on getting Vicky around and fixed from Silver Lake and ready for a drag and drive. However, there is a circle track race tomorrow night, less than 24 hours away at this point. And I want to race that bad. I want to race so bad, I had the really bad idea of racing my daily driver, which isn't a good idea because I need to take it to Missouri in just about a week. So with that being said, a genius idea popped in my head. The alternator that's in the race car Honda came from Rock Auto. It was like 90 bucks. It's junk now. The return process, A, is probably past due, and also a pain on Rock Auto. But when I bought that daily driver about a year and a half ago, it also needed an alternator. One of the main reasons the kids sold it. Super easy job, put one in, bought it in town in advance because I needed it that day. It's like 160 bucks, but I needed it that day, right? Here's where genius comes into play. That has a limited lifetime warranty, and they're identical alternators. So maybe we're going to pull one out of this car, take it back in town, and be like, hey guys, this one's junk. This is totally yours. I already called them. It's still under warranty, and they have one on the shelf. So we're going to rip this thing out of here, run into town, go grab a new one. We will use the battery out of a daily driver to put on this tomorrow. That way we don't do this all over again. But if that fixes the limp mode issue that will not allow it to go over 3,000 RPM, which I'm 92% positive that is the issue, we still have to throw tie rods on it. The tie rods are completely trash on this car. Pretty undrivable. I don't know if it's a subframe motor mount that is like trash currently. I've broken one motor mount before. This thing is like, you can feel it picking the motor and drivetrain up when you accelerate. Should probably look into that. Also, my truck kind of needs brakes. It sounds really bad. We have brakes on before. I just wasn't planning on using the truck this weekend, so I didn't do them yet. But long story short, we have got a lot of work to do and a little bit of time to do it, so let's get to it and get this alternator pulled out of here right now. Alright, all of 3 minutes later and got the alternator out. I tell you what, the more I work on these little 2.4s, they are so simple to get to everything. They look kind of tight, like compared to the V8 and Vicky. But honestly, once you get to know where some stuff is and how to get it out, super simple motors to work on. I see why Honda guys like these things. What makes it even easier is when you don't have an AC line here in your way. It makes it super simple to pop it right out of here and or even scooching in through the headlight. Nice open housing here. Of course, when you have all that, kind of makes it a little bit trickier. So a couple other things that need done here is the skid plate is supposed to go. It's supposed to be factory body lines in this series. However, I have a feeling if I pull this skid plate, it will never go back on because of how bent up it is. So I think I'm just going to cut this as flush as I can, bend it into the front bumper here, and call it good. And hopefully they count that as not protruding past factory body lines. They did not like this. That had to come off last year. So we're going to fix that. I need to swap over one of my wheels. I still never put the tire on the wheel that blew a tire last year, but I have a set of Steelies with normal size tires. Well, a little disappointed that I lost the super cool looking skid plate, but you know, you can see a little bit of it. It's about as close to factory body lines as we're going to get. Swooped her down, pounded her in. She's pretty well flush. I don't see why that wouldn't pass. Next up, we'll go ahead and take care of the minor steering issue we got going on. It causes slight vibration in the wheel, you know. If I was smart being brand new tie rods, I would put the brand new ones on the daily and take them used ones that are better than this and put on here. But don't feel like doing that right now. And I believe I do have inners and outers that are new, but obviously the main issue is this outer right here. I could probably just tighten her down and call it good, or weld to the knuckle if I really wanted to. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to at least replace the outer, and I don't know if it's bent or if that is factory shape. I haven't really looked at the new ones yet, but good chance it could be bent as well. 2 new tie rods installed, and I'll be honest, it actually wore out the knuckle. They were so bad, so I just cranked them down. We're going to hope for the best, but it'll be better than it was. Also, pretty sure the driver's side was slightly bent. That is about the best alignment this car has seen in a very long time. I actually didn't quote-unquote align it. All I did was turn it back to factory stock in between the bent tie rod and the one that was looser than crap. It should get us pretty well straight. The wheel's off center just a hair, but not enough we're going to be worried about. Driven it with way worse, so go grab this alternator. Hopefully it fixes our issue. Well, I'll be honest with you, it's the next morning. We skipped a couple steps. The car is running, driving now better than ever. I'll tell you what we ended up doing last night. So we'd gone up to work, put a brand new tire on. I do mean brand new. I forgot I actually had that. I picked up a set of 4. There are 3 almost junk ones, and then this brand new one. It's the only car around here that takes these 16s, so put that on the front left, have a decent one on the front right. Probably should have swapped them, but had already swapped wheels around. Didn't want to deal with it, so it is what it is. Probably not going to make me any faster anyways. And we had gone and picked up this brand new alternator under the warranty program we had going on there, right? Put that in, still was not charging. So I looked into the 100 amp fuse under this block here, which is part of the alternator system. That one was fine. Looked inside the car. I think it was like number 21, but it's the alternator exciter wire. And that one was fine. So I'm like, all right, I don't know what else is going on here. It does currently have engine codes for the cam position sensor and also a map sensor low voltage, but I had a feeling that was more of a side effect of this issue than the cause of the issue. So I didn't think those were really any issue at all. So I didn't figure it was worth pulling that out. So my next option was I was just going to start pulling all the fuses that weren't obviously windows or radio or stuff like that. There's a couple accessory ones. I was just going to start pulling them. Actually ended up stumbling upon a YouTube video. The guy's like, check 18. It's an accessory fuse, but also does something with the alternator. That one was blown. So a 15 amp fuse, put it in there, it charges, took it right out of limp mode. We're good to go. So ran up down the road. She runs good. Alignment's way better than it ever was before. We're going to do a pull. Brake lights though, we're legal. No super big slop in the wheel. Ended up cutting the rest of the exhaust off because the cat had broke at the flex joint back in Michigan and that fell off. So we cut the rest of the exhaust off out the back. And I do not know what is in that final muffler, but I'm guessing total there's 35-ish pounds there, 40 pounds maybe. And 80% of it is in that muffler. I don't know how restricted this thing was stocked, but my God, I did not expect that much weight to come off this thing. So we come out here this morning, cleaned up the windshield because it was super dirty and it is already hard enough to see out of this thing, being as cracked as it is when the sun's on it. So I want to make sure that's as clean as it can be through the AEH racing up front. My end goal was to have that and Omen's Automotive somewhere down the side of this, and I just haven't done it and ran out of time. So we just got the window paint out. We got the Omen's Automotive YouTube on the back, AH Racing, Hoopty Cross back here. Just something a little, jazzed up a little bit. I will say where we're going to race, it is a backyard, just 8th mile for fun track. Like their biggest prize last year was a free pizza from the local dive bar, and I think a case of beer. However, with that being said, they run it very professionally. Like they have a full website with standings and live timing, and they run qualifiers and heat races, A mains, B mains, and they run it like a big track would run a show. They put on a show, and every event has a theme. Like this one's the Old Milwaukee 30. Anyways, it's a good time, good people. If y'all get the chance and you're around Northwest Ohio, definitely check out Putnam International Trailways. Other than that, being that we buttoned everything up mechanically, and I'm wasting my time out here doing cosmetics when I should be working on my truck and trailer to get it there tonight, we did go ahead and wire up the fan. I'll be real honest, the wiring I've had on this fan for a while now has been sketchy. So some of the original wiring had got cut up during the accident and whatnot. So we went ahead and hardwired it. And during, shitbots racing and hoopty cross and all that, all I would do is come in here and shove the positive terminal down in that little gap right there. I'd ball up the end of the wire, shove it down in there, and I'd take my negative here, run it outside the hood, shut the hood, and then shove just open bare wires through the hood pin, shove my hood pin in there, and that'd be my ground. While that is sketchy, it never failed me. It worked pretty well. Until I pushed this whole radiator stack up, and then the hood pin wasn't working because it was misaligned now, so I lost that option. Also, I do think I had it come loose one time last year during the race, and it got decently warm, but I didn't really care. So now, while yes, I do have the mechanical knowledge and time to put a actual switch wired in here, probably on the dash or something, A, I don't have a switch here. B, I don't feel like going and getting one. C, I'm just lazy, and this is better than it was. So went ahead and hardwired the positive in here on the terminal. It's all good to go, tucked and ran away nicely. And then the negative, we went ahead and put a spade on with this little guy. So now you can just come over here like so. actually plug it in and be good to go. So there's solid connection there. Is it still the right way? Absolutely not. Is it better than it was? Absolutely it is. So there's our fan wiring for tonight. Just had to pop the hood, plug it in, and remember to shut it off when we're done. We need to get my truck up here and at least do rear brakes. I'm hoping to do all of them if I don't run into any issues, but at least do rear brakes and then also get my trailer up here. I've got a bearing I need to back off a little bit. It was getting warm on my last trip. I just gone and checked bearings and greased and whatnot, and apparently tightened the one up a hair bit much. So there's the plan. Let's get to it. I will see y'all when the tow rig is probably ready to go, as long as I don't run into issues. It's quite a few hours later. We got the driver's side done first, and I will show y'all the brake pad to that. She's pretty well gone, but hey, I paid for the whole pad. I used the whole pad. Luckily, that side didn't go all too bad. Had a little issue with fitment, and I had to squeeze the pistons in a lot more than I was thinking. I mean, they were bottomed out, and it was tight getting new pads on. I've never had a new pad and rotor clearance that was that tight. So I had to actually kind of pound the caliper on. Kind of screwed up on one pad. It's alright. It is what it is. The passenger side, and I did make the good idea of flipping the truck around so we're still in the shade on the north side, right? One good part. It's one good part of having a camper on here is you're always shading at least on one side. Luckily I did, because this has been an hour and 15 minutes plus now on getting these brakes off. Wouldn't you know it, up here in northern Ohio, the parking brake was completely rusted to the inside of this rotor and just not coming off at all. The adjuster was tight, so you couldn't back them off. The cable, I cut that, couldn't get it to move at all with the hammer. So we literally just used brute force and pry bars and hammered the entire collage out until it was opened up enough here to just start pounding pry bars and screwdrivers and hammers into the arms that hold everything together, and then breaking shit apart. And so like I said, over an hour of just pounding that thing out of there, beat the piss out of the rotor, as you can see. Both sides of that, and she finally came off. So we can go ahead and get this cleaned up and start putting new brakes back on. I do have a feeling at this point that we are not doing fronts today, because I've only got not even 2 hours until I need to have stuff on the trailer and ready to roll. So we're going to button this side up real quick and start packing up the car and trailer. Oh, here's a cool one. Remember how I said on the first one that the pad to rotor ratio was just the tightest that I've ever seen in my life? The second one was just as tight. And I'll be honest, I even pulled the backing plates off of the new pads. There's not much, but like, it was tight. You had to start at the bottom and just kind of hammer this caliper on. And that was with the pistons all the way collapsed, like they're all the way in. And pedal instantly picked back up. So, went out and drove it, and there's noise, which I have a feeling. This retainer clip on the piston side probably got pushed in, because when you push the pistons all the way in, the pad will actually get back past it. And if you don't catch it putting it on and set it in, then it probably pushed it back forward, which I have a feeling is what happened. Problem is I can't work on this yet because of that. I drove maybe a half mile. It's a quarter mile down to the stop sign. It's exactly a quarter mile down the stop sign. I turned around there and came back, and that is how hot it is. I didn't really hit my brakes other than at the stop sign. I know this is the perfect way to work a rotor, but I need to work on this. I am running out of time to do this, so it is what it is. Just as I suspected, this clip over here was set sideways, and the pad itself was actually behind it. You can see where it got caught up in the corner of it. So it was just pushing this into the rotor, and then that was pushing this corner of the pad all cockeyed in here. So we'll put a new clip in here, try and reset it, and hope for the best this time. I went ahead and took that back off, put the new clip in, put everything back on tight, put 2 oil nuts on so I can test it before I set the wheel on, set it back down again, waste time. Hopped in the truck, put it in drive. Absolutely silent as can be, like new brakes should be. So imagine that, when you don't have a piece of metal jammed up against your rotor, throwing everything off, it works like it's supposed to. There's one thing after another today, I tell you what. I got the trailer hooked up out back, which I haven't touched since I got back from Silver Lake, and I had one bearing that got warmer than I would like. I don't think it's bad, it was just warm. I had adjusted them just before that, and turned it just a hair too far, so I'm going to back it off a notch or two on the cotter pin. But never had an issue with trailer brakes on this thing ever. And I hook on this thing, and I have just no trailer brakes at all. It says service wiring. So that's cool. It's probably obviously a plug issue on the truck side. I have had issues with like a loose socket and the lights will fade, but the brakes I've never had an issue with. So it's probably just that, but just funny enough that happened today. So we're rolling no trailer brakes unless they decide to come back. We'll see. Either way, I don't really care. We're not going fast.
I feel your language.
Yeah, that sounds good for me.
So we got 14 drivers, so we're going to end up running 4 heats tonight. Your can you drew, that will be your qualifying orders. At 6 o'clock, we'll get everything going.
So is it 5, 5, and 4 then?
Yeah. 10-15 minutes until the heats go out. It'll be a single run. That'll decide where you are in your, or till the qualifiers go out, that'll decide where you are in the heats. Sounds like it'll be 3 heats, 5, 5, and 4. Top 2 will go right into the feature. The rest of the back of the pack will fall back into the V main, and then top 2 from there will advance on the feature as well. So hopefully we can get right into the A main like we have the last 2 times. We'll see. Track's still kind of tacky. I drew number 4 on the qualifier. I was hoping for a little bit later to let the track dry out, but it's what it is. Alright, we're up here for qualifier. Got one guy ahead of us yet, also in a Honda Accord. And he's usually top 1-2 finisher, so apparently it's not far. As with both of these guys, the guy in the Sunfire out here is also very, very quick. Betting I'll have the slowest time out of the first 4 here.
How's it going?
Not too bad, how about you?
Not bad. First time?
No, I was out here twice last year. First time this year.
Okay. I like that.
Gotta remember. It'd be too hard to put a switch within reach, you know. I gotta plug it in under the hood. We got folks rolling out for the heat races. We got 3 heat races. We got 5 in the first 2, 4 in the last. I am in number 3. I will be with the Fiat here, the Honda Civic that is pulling up there already for some reason. And then Herr Miller is in the Sunfire there, maroon one. Matt is pretty quick in the Sunfire. He's won here many, many times. I qualified a lot better than I thought. This Fiat loses an intercooler boot if he bottoms out at all. So that would be hard to not do that. Sounds like he's had many issues with that. Brian get around him, be real aggressive here, hits the hole, loses a bunch of speed. Looking like he is not going to get the transfer. pretty confident I can stay ahead of the two behind me, and that's all we need to get in the A main. So I need to keep that in mind. I have no reason to have to pass Matt, but if I can hang with them, that'd be super cool. Single file restart. Alignment's way off again. The B main top two move on to the A. Betting it's going to be the top two that are out there right now, unless we have a mechanical or a wreck. But there we go, 15 laps. Figure it out. 4 of these guys are going home. Filter and looks like intercooler boot because he is way down on power again. And we got the tire on off on that. What do I Duramax out there? But he's off track, so they're going to keep rolling. Flat tire maybe. Oh man, what a change up of events. single one hit that inside berm hard. Pop tire on the Honda. Somebody rolls by the end of the night here. It's getting sketchy down there too. I had 4 to do it, but there's only 2 cars left, so we're gonna get those into the A main. Bunch of broke cars here on. It looks like you're trying to do a little bit of track work down there, maybe smooth out the hole that has claimed 4 tires now tonight. It's typically pretty bad, but tonight it is really bad. So see how it turns out for the A main. Apart from that, track conditions look all right, drying out all right. Hopefully it won't get super dusty on 30 laps, but good chance it will. So I did some talking, found out what the provisional was that Brian got over here in the 24. He had tire blow, so he has one here in the past. So he's using one of his provisionals to get into the A main, and he'll be starting in the very back. Also, somebody's leaking. Oh, I bet that was a car beside us. Also, oil filter. Quite a bit of oil. Wait, so what? Like with the motor? What happened to his? Or?
I think radiator. It looked like there's some steam coming out.
Gotcha.
It's radiator stuff.
Radiator? Okay. So yeah, 24K was the only one for B main then. Damn. How's the crater looking?
What's that?
How's the crater looking down here?
I don't think it looks that bad. Unless they catch dirt and it was pretty bad. I guess that could be. There's dirt patches. Which first turn talking about. Yeah. But you can see it. It's a little high. I don't know. Put a ground underneath it around there. I was right behind it.
What's
What
this?
happened to the cars? Like what kind of damage?
He blew his bead lock. I think everyone else basically blew their bead locks.
Yeah, everyone.
No one else had bead locks.
I was gonna say everyone else was tires, and then the 3 that finished was a radiator.
Which,
Yeah. Yeah. So you were the only one that made it.
Yeah, Fiat. He lost the tie rod, broke it somehow.
All right. Top
For
6. Which
the
is
feature
Derek,
starting
Zach,
position.
Grant, Josh, Alex. I called you Alec. I don't know. Matt. All right,
well,
you guys come up. Let's
Your Heat Race #1 winner grabs a can, and he grabs the 3. Alex, 3rd starting position. How does that set up for your car?
Well, I get to do it for Dale, so that's pretty sweet. I like it.
All right, let's see it. Alex Super grabs the 3.
one of
These guys are drawing for their starting positions in tonight's feature event.
And if it's a number in the star, you get to start wherever you want in the A. So
Derek Campbell stacks up next. He grabs the 5. All right, Derek.
Remember where you're at.
5th place. How's that set up for you?
Well, I think I started 5 last race and I ended up 3rd, so hopefully we can just get to work again.
Get back to work, move up through the field. Derek Campbell starting 5. Matt Hermiller grabs the 1. The red 352. All right, so how does this car set up better on the pole versus starting in the middle of the field?
Yeah. I think I'm going to be starting in the middle of the field because there is a joker.
There is a joker. We'll see who grabs it, and it has not been grabbed yet. So 3 cans down. Zach.
yeah.
Zach Basinger up next.
These are 7. So
Zach Basinger grabs the 6. So not exactly the highest can. It's certainly the worst starting position. But you've always been managed to keep this car rolling through the field. What's it going to take to keep that doing?
number with a star.
Consistency is the name of the game. Zach Basinger grabs the 6 can to start 6th for tonight's feature event. Our next grabber should be Grant.
There it
And
is.
we've got the Joker can starting 4th, but you may trade with anybody you want. Grant, how are you feeling? Which can do you want to swap with?
I'm looking to swap with Hermler over here.
All right, he wants the pole position, so Hermiller, you are now starting 4th. Grant will be starting. That's pretty easy. So we set up number 2. You're outside row number 1. How's that make you feel?
About the same as the heat race. Now I don't have to worry about Hurt Miller being up front, so he'll probably get around me by lap 5. We'll see, but we'll try and hold him off for a little bit.
All right, well, there'll be some clean air up there, so good luck.
You keep your window down.
Yeah, I can. Why?
That's one of our rules.
Oh.
Keep the window down.
Okay, I figured hands out would be worse.
Yep.
So, all right. I didn't know that was the thing. If I did, I had to put a window down. Alright, so real quick, just want to give my perspective on this rollover incident, because on video it doesn't look super serious, but it could have been really bad had we not got woed up and or I was going for an inside line instead of a high side. So if you look here, just as I'm going by, the caution flag is just starting to come up on the flag stand, and I don't catch it. Because I'm not looking there, I'm almost already past it by the time, he brings it up. If you look at my center console, there's a transponder that should also be flashing in caution, but it doesn't until after we're stopped. They're a little bit late on the button. So I'm going into turns 3 and 4, fully expecting we're under race yet, and the only thing that catches my attention, and I hit the brakes hard for, is the guy that's about to run across the track in front of me. And in my head, I'm like, how did I not see this? Like, I came hauling up on this. Actually, Matt behind me smacked in my rear end because we all stopped so quick. And then I realized that the first guy at the car is the flag guy for 3 and 4, and he ended up dropping his flag when we were on the front stretch yet, and ended up running over to help, which I understand there's a rollover, but had I been going for a low side line instead of high side, I would have been right there on this guy's door. So luckily, nothing bad happened. At the end, everyone was okay, and it got talked about, and safety protocols are changed a little bit on, flag guys stay where they're meant to be, and no one runs across an active track. But just a rookie perspective, I was very caught off guard on how I didn't see that come up any quicker than it did.
About tapping you.
Oh, I didn't even feel it, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's good. I didn't tap you that hard. I'm like,
I said it in the heat race, I'm like, somebody's gonna roll tonight, guaranteed.
yeah, once I saw what you saw, I'm like, oh, fuck. There you go.
Had the beer can.
You sure you're alright?
Not sure if he just kind of caught a flip there on his front bumper, maybe going into corner entry.
It is a sketchy track out here tonight.
Sorry about the roll upside down and sorry about head brake. I know you're right. Actually, the thing started going, I'm like, I don't know.
Keep going?
Wet mode, 3 grand. That's all I got.
Alright.
I'm out. Damn, that was a good race too. That was such good racing. Who knows what it's for that time. Battery light's not on, so. 3 laps, dude. That was fun. Rolls and integers. So I don't want to speak too soon because obviously my car's at the trailer, but I was holding my own against Matt, which is impressive compared to last year. Last year he was lapping me no problem at all. Had a couple laps of mirror to mirror, and that was some of the funnest driving I've ever done out here. So hoping next year we can keep the car together. She went into limp mode for some reason. I don't know if I knocked something loose or what, but down here with 3 and 4, I got some air on the rear end, and by the time I got back into 1 and 2, it was already in limp mode, and I kind of putting around, hoping it wasn't that, but it was. So we got her all loaded up. She drove on the trailer just fine, which is a plus, and it revved out on the trailer. So part of me is maybe leaning towards trans got hot, went into limp mode. I've had that one other time in Michigan, but that was on a much longer pace track, and I was shifting 1 and 2. This was just in first, so I don't know what the deal is. It didn't throw a check engine or a battery light. It just went into 3 ran limp mode, and cooled down for 10-15 minutes watching that race, come up here, revved right out. So need to look into that before next race is 2 weeks away, right back here again for 4th of July, America's birthday race, and hopefully we'll be back here ripping and finish the race that time. Also, for those that have not seen the entry and exit to this track, it is in fact just a creek bed. It's not very wide, woods on both sides. Just cross the creek, find a racetrack. Pretty slick little backyard. Good news, I think I figured out what the limp mode is. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Rocker arm control valve, which is the VTEC actuator valve, and the variable cylinder management, which is the cam, is stuck on or off. Obviously stuck off because it was on the low side. And shutting it off, turn it back on. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Now I'm sitting here processing this in my head. I did throw the car in neutral and double check it while I was on track. I should have shut the car off and refired it, because that is exactly what I do to my daily driver every single morning when I leave for work to fix that issue. And I didn't do that. So we keep that in mind for next time. Good news, I have a part for my daily driver. It's probably going to go in this thing now, sitting in my house.